want you to think about the last time you wanted to try out a new restaurant. Where did you go in order to find the best restaurant to try? Did you go to Google and just put in random restaurants to look for the one closest to you? Or did you go on Facebook, contact friends, and crowdsource some of those recommendations? My guess is you probably did like me and you went straight to Yelp, or you went to your local neighborhood Facebook page or some sort of community in order to find the best recommendations for the restaurant. We as humans love to collaborate with others and learn from others. We love to know from other people's experience. And if you are not including that sort of opportunity into your learning programs, then you're missing a huge opportunity for people really to learn, engage, and build community amongst each other. And that is why in today's video, I'm going to talk to you all about the last pillar of the Anchor Training Learning Content Framework, and that is collaborate. My name is Vanessa Alzate, the founder and CEO of Anchor Training, and I am here to tell you more all about the importance of collaboration in your learning and development initiatives. If you are not including ways for people to communicate with each other, ways for people to learn from each other, to learn from others' experiences and their mistakes and their best practices and tips and tricks, you're doing it all wrong. See, if you really think about it, when you go to learn something, right? When you're learning a new process, when you are learning a new, let's say, software system or something like that, once you go through initial training, more often than not, you don't go back to the initial training to relearn what it is that you missed. Or if you got stuck on something, it's not where you go to figure out, how to get unstuck, right? You typically go to someone else that you know has experience working through that process or working through the system, and you ask them for their tips and their tricks and for them to help you out. And if you are not providing those opportunities for your people to do so, what they are doing is instead going and asking others and stopping them in the middle of their day. Like the amount of managers I speak with that say, most of my day is spent answering frequently asked questions is insane. And when you actually start to do like a list of productivity and what managers are actually accomplishing, they are not accomplishing as much strategic initiatives and the true things that you need in order for them to really move the mission of your business forward, because they're spending so much time answering questions. I ask you, are you providing a community or a space for your people to learn from each other anytime you have a new learning initiative? Some of you are going to say, well, Vanessa, I've got discussion forums and discussion posts built into my learning management system. And my response for you there is, unless your discussion board or your learning management system is one that is utilized very frequently and a place where people go in the moment of need, that discussion board is basically useless. So instead, my recommendation for you, friend, is to identify places where your people are and build communities around that so that people can collaborate amongst each other. Let me just tell you how I'm doing this right now. I volunteer for an organization. I oversee a bunch of specialists that help other groups along the way. And we have people that have been on the team for years. We have people with different skill sets based on certain skills that you need in order to be a well-rounded, great specialist. And so what we did was we, tagged a few people to be what we're calling, like the helpful sisters, the helpful specialists. They are the ones that have their own channel, and when you have a question, you go to that person's channel and they're the ones that can help answer those questions. But what we are noticing is that because we're creating those Slack channels and we're allowing people to connect with each other, they're not only connecting with that helpful sister that's going to give them the right answer every time, that's not myself or one of the other supervising volunteers, but we're also seeing that other people are getting the answer. So we're going to that channel to search for the question before they ask it. And so they're actually starting to fish for themselves. And so if you really think about the best way to get the frequently asked questions answered and to free up your manager's time, it's to promote community and to collaborate in spaces together. The collaboration principle is not just about communities and getting these frequently asked questions answered. It is also about this key thing. We learn from each other, and like I started this video out, we learn from the recommendations and experiences of others. Like I like to tell people, I don't always have to fail in order to learn. I can learn from other people's trials, tribulations, experiences, and apply that to my own life and how I do things. So if you're building communities where people can actually provide their tips and their tricks and how they are, utilizing systems, utilizing processes, maximizing their efficiencies, you can really start to see people take on some of those or utilize some of those strategies, some of those efficiencies, and apply them to their own work. In a time in which we're all remote, we're working, we're working hybrid, or, it's a completely remote team all spread out all over the world, it can really be hard to form connections. So you can really utilize this collaborate principle to also build some of that community. So next time you're launching your next compliance training, or next time you're launching your next product training, create and build a community around it to support each other and to have those questions answered and to learn more about the experiences of others and to share their own, how they have, dealt with certain situations, right? How they have spotted the phishing scam in the email and things like that. So that helps to build awareness and build community amongst each other. And what I love about certain apps like Slack that have automations is you can even create channels in which you have water cooler, channels in which you're by the electronic water cooler, the virtual water cooler, and you're asking questions amongst each other just to get to know each other, just so that you guys can start to build that community. And what you'll notice is people will start to build those connections. They'll start to build more of that community. They'll start to build the bonds with each other, and they will start to go to each other when they have questions, when they need support, and when they, need to utilize or lean on each other. And that is really what we're missing. E-learning is wonderful. However, you really do miss that human connection. And really what we want to bring with this last pillar in the Anchored content pillar framework is the idea of bringing the human back to learning and development, to instructional design, and back to all things learning for organizations, right? We want you to still have human connection. Yes, it's great to be asynchronous. Yes, it's amazing to have TikTok style videos to support each other, but you still need a place for you all to learn and lean from each other. Listen, the reason that TikTok works is also because it is community building. So people will start to follow the same hashtags. They'll start to follow the same creators. They'll start to comment on each other's videos and things like that, and collaborate and create a community amongst each other. That is where true connections in this virtual world can really be made. Let's be honest, you can truly make a really strong connection with someone and feel like you've known them for years without ever actually meeting face to face and having that virtual relationship, but you have to find a way to break the ice. So by providing opportunities for people to collaborate with each other, right? To build cohorts where they're going through similar experiences together, and then maybe they're getting together for a virtual training, maybe they're getting together for a coffee chat, something like that. Building those opportunities to chat together, that is where you will start to see those communities start to be formed, especially when we are all remote. So if you're looking at your curriculum, right, and if you're looking at the new training program that you're developing, I want you to ask yourself, are you providing opportunities in the overall plan for collaboration? Are you building a supplemental community? Are you building, a part of the learning path or the learning curriculum where they're meeting up with a partner? Are you building, opportunity for office hours? Are you building Q&A sessions? For my Anchored ID Collective, which is my community for instructional designers, I have a course called the Anchored ID Process course, and we're walking through the Anchor training process and how we build content and how we build curriculum, right? With that, most of it is remote, right? Most of it is virtual, where there's videos and there's homework and they have activities to complete. But we also supplement that with bi-weekly Q&A office hours where people will come together and they will, ask questions of the facilitators. And we also have a Slack community so they can also build upon each other. So we're checking in with people and we are, connecting people together. They're making connections based on where they live, questions that they have, experiences that they've had. They're now sharing their experiences with others that have that similar question. This is the type of thing that you want to build at your own work. The biggest question out there is how to build remote communities. And this, friend, is your way to do it, utilizing that collaborate principle. So I want you to ask yourself, how can I promote collaboration and how can I promote people coming together, and what are those opportunities within the curriculum in order to do so? And if you need any help or you want to know more about the collaborate principle or the Anchored Training learning content pillars, please reach out to Anchored Training. The link below is going to be our contact information. I'd love to have that conversation with you about how we build collaboration in everything that we develop. Friends, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in our next video. Bye.